Are we live? I think we're live. Yeah, we are live. We are. We are. I am late. I am. Apologies. Apologies for being late. I had distractions. But yeah, I hope we're good. This is an interesting match. Napoli versus Juventus. I'm very interested about this because I haven't watched Juventus this season under Spalletti. So I'm very interested to see. And also Spalletti's returning to Napoli as well, former Napoli manager. So I am very, very interested to see how this game pans out. Juventus I think they're on a 5-game winning streak or something like that. Yeah, 3-game winning streak. They've won 2 games in the league, and I think 1 in the Champions League and 1 in Coppa Italia. So they are looking very, very, very interesting this season. I actually wanted to talk about a little bit of stats before we get into the game. I mean, we have 5 minutes, 6 minutes to go. So we'll talk about a little bit before the match gets underway. Make sure my timer is ready. Okay, we do have that ready. So Juventus, we haven't watched them this season, so I can't really, pinpoint players that are going to cause Napoli any major issues. But off the top of my head, I'd say Kenan Yildiz. He's been a fantastic player for them. Player of the season, probably, for Juventus in terms of players that are performing. I think Weston McKennie. Jonathan David, he's an interesting player because I've watched Jonathan David play for Juventus, and I've not been impressed. Sometimes he gets the job done, but I've not really been impressed with him. So I can't really look at him and say he's going to be a player that's going to cause problems for Napoli. Vlahovic could be the one causing problems, but he is injured, so that's something that's going to affect Juventus as well. Kefren Thuram as well. He's also another interesting player. Locatelli, solid CDM. Cambiaso is also a player I'm getting, I was interested in under was it Tudor, the old Juventus manager? Tudor, I think his name was Tudor. I might be getting that wrong, but yeah. Cambiaso under Tudor looked decent, so he's also another player I'm looking at to see, if he makes any major impact in the game. Gatti as well, he could do something, but he's a defender, so corners maybe gets his head on that. But the team I want to talk about that we have watched a couple of times is Napoli. I think Napoli are on a good run. David Neres looks good. Rasmus Højlund looks good. McTominay, as usual, is going to be looking good. Noah Lang looked good in the last game, but he's not been, the bright star. But he's still going to make an impact in this game. So if I had to make a guess, if I had to make a prediction for the game, I would say Napoli. I would most likely go with Napoli over Juventus, mainly because I've seen Napoli play this season under Antonio Conte, and I haven't seen Juventus. If it was Juventus under Tudor, this would have been a straight win for Napoli because Tudor's football was very, very, lackluster. So I'm leaning more to Napoli. They are at home as well. The home advantage is going to count significantly, especially in a match like this. And, you never do know. You never do know. Juventus could come up with something special, Spalletti is going to, he's going to come here and want to get a win because he's up against his former side that he managed. And, I think it's going to be an interesting match. Hopefully we get goals like the Inter Milan Como match. That was very interesting. Como got very, very, I saw a comment today was basically saying Como got schooled by Inter, and you can see the lack of quality in that Como side. And Nico Paz was really the only one that was a shining star in that Como team against Inter Milan. So I think I'm looking for the same thing. I think we had 3 goals or 4 goals in that match. So hopefully we can get some more goals in this match as well. Quality managers, Spalletti, Antonio Conte, and quality players on view today. And I think this is going to be a very, very, very interesting and hard fought match. Let me know what you guys think in the chats, and I will respond to them as well. We do have some, some interesting conversations today to talk about. I mean, the stuff with Mohamed Salah and Liverpool, we'll talk about that. I mean, if the game is boring, we'll talk about that. But hopefully that doesn't, end up being the case, because I wouldn't want to be watching a Napoli versus Juventus game and be talking about Liverpool. Real Madrid are playing today as well. In the next 20 minutes, should be a routine win, but we know what Real Madrid can do. They are very disappointing sometimes. Very, very, very disappointing. Players are just, lining up, getting themselves ready. I really am interested to see how Juventus go on today. Because I think even when Spalletti was with Napoli, I didn't really watch Napoli play. We saw them in the Champions League a little bit, play against Liverpool, and it was a tad bit interesting. But again, I've never really sat down to watch Spalletti manage a team. So this is going to be my first experience to see how a Spalletti team plays. And it's very, very, reminisce that it's up against Napoli. The game is actually about to kick off. I have to make sure my timer is ready. Okay. We're about to go off. Napoli are going to be kicking us off here. And we are about to be off. Why are we showing the ref cam? I don't want to see the ref's point of view. And we are, Jesus Christ, blow the whistle, ref. We're off. Okay. We're good. Napoli, straight on the attack with a long ball. Very interesting. So what I'm expecting to see, based on the statistical research I have done, because you know me, I like my numbers. And what I've, seen based on the research I've done on Juventus, I'm expecting to see conservative football being played from the wings, because Cambiaso and I think the left winger is playing his first, like he's starting his first game for Juventus. I think so, number 32. I think this is his first game starting for Juventus, because I've never really seen him this season. So I'm expecting play from the wings. Vlahovic was supposed to be very important in this game, but as I said, he is injured. Jonathan David is not starting this game, so they are devoid of a striker, Juventus. But Kenan Yildiz and Consensao are going to be the front two for Juventus, is looking like. And as I said, I'm expecting Napoli to have a lot of the ball here. And I think Juventus are going to be counterattacking. And players like Cambiaso, Kefren Turam are going to be very important in transitioning the ball from back to front. David Neres on the right-hand side here, very silky on the ball. He's got, very silky on the ball, and he loses it. But, early days, first minute of the game, Rasmus Højlund, good tackle to win the ball. Noah Lang, a bit scruffy, a bit of a scruffy start, but You would expect that. It's a very tough game. Ball being passed around. Weston McKennie is also going to be very crucial in the transition. Consensao, right hand side. First foul of the game. Oh, it's not a foul. It's a advantage to Juventus. This is, I mean, hey, we want to see the game flow. The Inter versus Como game, the referee was just blowing the whistle, all about the gaff, and it's I mean, I don't know what the one number 5 was doing for Juventus there. Ball going out wide. Both teams just really sizing each other up, as you would expect from a game of this magnitude. FGH again, a regular in the chat. Thoughts on the Salah incident? I will talk about it, but I want to try and focus on the game first. If I do see the opportunity to discuss it, because I think it's a big thing, you know, it's a big thing with Salah and Liverpool. I will try my best to talk about it for sure. Ball moving around here. Nothing. No real danger has been created by both teams. But again, it's still early days. We haven't even hit 5 minutes. I am expecting the timer on this game to run by very quickly. I think it's gonna be one of those games where the timer runs by very, very quickly. Napoli just passing the ball with the back. I again expecting Napoli to keep a lot of the possession here. I'm not too fussed on, you know, and I'm sure Spalletti wouldn't be fussed on his team not having too much of the ball. Napoli are the favorite. I mean, like I probably should have showed the league table before we went into this game here. Napoli on 29 points at the moment with a draw. A win will take them top of the league. Juventus do need a win to get into that top 4 conversation. Roma dropped points today, actually, against Cagliari. So a win for Juventus does put them behind Roma, but it's just 1 point behind Roma. And it gets them in that top 5 conversation for sure. David Neres, he wins the ball high up the pitch here. Can he find someone in the box? He goes for Di Lorenzo on the right-hand side on the overlap, but it's going to be a corner. He probably should have looked for an incisive pass in the middle. Rasmus Højlund looked open. So did Noah Lang. Maybe he didn't trust his passing ability. And it's a corner. I mean, Napoli, do they have aerial threats? I mean, with the cross like that, or the routine like that, you not expect. Good cross into the box. Scott McTominay. That was close. That was very close. And maybe a warning sign for Juventus. I was kind of criticizing the corner routine, but I think it worked. That was very close. You probably say Scott McTominay, a player of his quality, he should be scoring that. That was very close. Di Gregorio rooted to the spot there. That was very close. Very close. Probably think he should be scoring, but it's a chance for Napoli, and here they are again. David Neres and Noah Lang. Juventus should be a little bit concerned. You know, there's nothing wrong with being conservative, but there is that risk of being too conservative when you don't have possession of the ball. I think I missed the chat from FGH. Predictions. I mean, I'm leaning more on Napoli. David Neres again. Rasmus Højlund. First goal of the game. We did expect it. And it's the duo again, Rasmus Højlund and David Neres, linking up for the 3rd game in a row, actually, to get the first goal for Napoli and he's loving life at the moment in Naples. Rasmus Højlund, Scott McTominay, both formerly of Manchester United, they are absolutely loving life at the moment. Ball from David Neres, he's absolutely found his form. Good cross into the box, and all the hard work was done by David Neres, and Rasmus Højlund will probably not have an easier go. Probably would not. So FGH, my answer to your question is Napoli, because I've watched Napoli. Napoli are the only team out of the two I have watched. And the duo, the link-up play between David Neres and the chemistry and connection David Neres and Rasmus Højlund have, I think is going to be very key for Napoli if they're looking to get the 3 points in this game. And I think Juventus might have to change their game plan, because although Napoli are not going to press, if they're not going to press all the time, their press is very effective, especially with that front three of Højlund, Noah Lang, and David Neres. Their press is very effective when they do engage it. So Juventus are going to either have to change the way they're approaching the game, or hope that this conservative approach works, because I'm looking at this now and they're just at the back. They really are just at the back, not really going forward. David Neres again on the right hand side. Oh, lovely. Oh, if that pass had gone through, I would have been very good. Kenan Yildiz trying to find something here. Juventus haven't, even before the goal, Napoli were looking the more dangerous team. They really were. Just passing the ball around here, Juventus. Not really. They're not keeping the ball, Juventus, which is not good, because already they're not as aggressive as you would expect them to be, or as you would want them to be. So when they do get the ball, you'd expect them to keep a hold on to the ball, but they're not doing that. Napoli here again. I think Juventus need a goal, because Napoli can defend. If Napoli need to defend, they can be that, extra conservative. Did you see the news about United players and the ex-United players? Yeah, I did see that. Stuff we'll talk about in the second half. Oh, lovely attempted pass to Kenan Yildiz, but it was a bit too much. It was a little bit too much. Yeah, we'll talk about it. So I'll try and keep the conversations that are not about Napoli and Juventus to halftime. So we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about halftime, because I don't think it would be fair to talk about the Salah and Liverpool thing and the Juventus and Napoli, not the Juventus, the United ex players and current players thing in a match like this, because I think this is I don't know if I can say it's a big match, but it is a big match. Two major teams in Italy playing. I think it's a big match. Cambiaso, as I said, he's going to be very important going forward. Consensao, can you find someone? It's going all the way back. Very conservative again. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot about Juventus today. I'm watching them and I'm not Nothing really. There's nothing really impressing me about the way they're going about things. But let's see. Let's see. Lovely flick up from McKennie, but Constantine isn't getting there. Noah Lang on the left hand side. Oh my goodness, Noah Lang absolutely rinsing McKennie there, but doesn't really make use of the opportunity he created for himself. And Juventus, they're not really, they've not had a chance where I can look at it and say they've done something, Kefren Thuram almost loses the ball in the midfield. Hoop Mainers is playing left back, I think. Just moving the ball about here. Interesting. Can I knew this? Ooh. Napoli have won the ball again. McTominay, Noah Lang, Rasmus Højlund. He's over to the left-hand side. Noah Lang, he doesn't use Rasmus Højlund. David Neres again. Can you find someone? He attempts. It was a good idea. Ooh. That could have been bad. Constantine almost lost the ball. Di Lorenzo moving the ball around. Højlund again. Again, Juventus. Anytime Juventus get the ball, I'm not really, Look at that. That was just a speculative long ball that is just, they're not really creating anything major at the moment, Juventus. And anytime they get the ball, I'm just like, Napoli look more effective. Noah Lang finds David Neres. Can he find an option in the box? He puts it in the box though. Rasmus Højlund cannot get there. It's another corner for Napoli. They're peppering them at the moment, Napoli. They are. Rasmus almost got there, to be honest. It's a good cross from David Neres. David Neres has always been a solid player. Ajax, where else did he play? Actually, that's actually something I should check. Where else did David Neres play? The only time I remember, the only team I remember David Neres playing for was Ajax. Should probably check that. Ball into the box, headed out. It's out for another corner. David Neres again, ball into the box. Duke Gorio is out to claim. Locatelli. Again, nothing really standing out for me for Juventus. He played for Benfica too. Yeah, actually, I do remember that. How long did he play for Benfica? I feel like it was just a short spell. I think was it on loan or he actually moved to Benfica? Because I do remember him playing for Benfica, but I don't know how long that was. Anyways, he's always been a decent player that can, on his day, he can get you results. Kenan Yildiz, edge of the Napoli 18-yard box, cross into the box. There's really no one there, and he is offside. I should probably remember number 32's name for Juventus. I can't just be saying number 32. Probably get his name in. He was very offside. Jesus. Very offside. Cabal. Juan Cabal. I think I'm thinking of Cabral because there is a Juan Cabral played for Fiorentina, I think. David Neres again. What's he doing on the left wing? Oh, it's not David Neres. It's Noah Lang. Confused the two. Former Eredivisie players. Noah Lang played for. I think Noah Lang played for Ajax as well. Because I remember, I think Ten Hag managed Noah Lang, but I don't know Lang is from PSV. Both players from Netherlands. No, actually, Noah Lang is from Netherlands. David Neres is from Brazil. Mixing up my nationalities there. Lethargic approach from Juventus, just very disappointing. Really is. It really, really is. I haven't seen anything to suggest that Juventus can create chances compared to Napoli, who have created 3 solid chances at the very least in this game. Is horror getting better or worse? I mean, I might as well talk about something else because the matches go. I mean, the match is interesting. Napoli are making the match interesting. Noah Lang, is that going to be a foul? The referee says no. I like it. I like when the game flows. I like when the referee allows the game to flow because the Napoli Como match was so stop starts. Referee just blowing the whistle every single time. But yeah, speaking of horror movies, because Juventus are on the ball now, they've been very not exciting. If something exciting happens, I will let you know. I was recently watching It's Welcome to Derry. Splendid series. I mean, splendid is a bit of an overstatement, but it was good in terms of the horror aspect of the series. I think there are some plot holes in the series because I think it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's a franchise that you can't really make an interesting series out of if because the whole point of the series Welcome to Derry is they're basically trying to weaponize Pennywise. The military are basically trying to weaponize Pennywise because they found out that uh, horrible shots from Juventus. I don't know what that was, but they basically found out that a group of indigenous people had the found a way to contain Pennywise. So that's why Pennywise stays in Derry. Like he can't leave the outskirts of Derry because a group of indigenous people found a way to keep him in that location using like so I mean if you know the history of Pennywise and he's basically an alien that fell from the sky like before the dawn of humans and stuff like that. So he had like came in a meteorite and stuff like that, and it's it's interesting, I guess. And the indigenous people kind of found the meteorite, Jesus Christ. And oh, lovely turn from McKennie here. Wait, this could be interesting for Juventus. He's still going. Can he find a pass? Why is he holding on to the ball for so long? Weston McKennie. He did so well to move away from the midfield. Went, into the final third and couldn't get the ball out of his feet. And that wasn't a foul. He just fell. He fell onto the Napoli player's thigh. Anyways, so the indigenous people kind of found a piece of the meteor and broke a piece off. And they didn't know. They didn't know it was going to keep Pennywise at bay. And I think they encountered Pennywise in the woods, and he couldn't attack them because they had the meteor. And they were like, oh, he can't attack us because we have the meteor and stuff like that. So time goes by, and some white people come to the indigenous, the settlers, as they were called in the movie. They came to the indigenous people's location and kind of trying to assert their dominance. And the indigenous people, as indigenous people do, warned them. They were like, hey, there's something in the woods, don't go that way. And white people were like, nah, we know better. We're gonna go to the woods. We're gonna hunt in the woods. So the indigenous, I'm just gonna call them Indians because I think they're Indians. Red Indians, I think, but I'm just gonna call them Indians. So the Indians were like, they don't hunt in Pennywise zone. Like, they don't go to his part of the forest. So they were kind of coexisting with Pennywise. They were like, okay, this part of the forest is ours, and then you take that part of the forest. And he was like, cool. You guys have the meteor rock. I can't really affect you guys, so cool. I'm gonna hunt on my side, and you guys stay on your side. So the settlers came in, and they were like, hey, we're here to fuck shit up. And they were like, okay, do you, but don't go to this side of the forest. They were like, hell no, we're going to that side of the forest specifically. And they were like, hey, that's on you, do you. So the settlers go. The reason I'm talking about this is that Juventus are very boring. Hands up to Spalletti. He's a brilliant manager, but the way he has set up this Juventus team is very boring. Napoli have a set piece here. They're going to put a cross into the box. It's going to go straight to the goalkeeper. Juventus have the ball, so I'm going to keep talking about Welcome to Derry because they haven't created any major chances. Anyways, Rasmus Højlund actually looks like he's injured here, which could be bad for Napoli. I don't know what happened. That looked painful. I think he hit Kalulu while he was turning. But he's up. He's wobbling a little bit, but I think he's going to be fine. Anyways, Juventus have the ball, so we're going to keep talking about Welcome to Derry. So the settlers basically... Novalank, corner again for Napoli. Juventus they've not gotten to grips of this game at all. They don't look like they're ready. I'm going to be real with you. They don't look like they're ready for this game in the slightest bit. So back to Welcome to Derry. The settlers basically hunt in Pennywise forest, part of the forest, and obviously they get killed. Pennywise does what Pennywise does. He kills them, and as he keeps doing that, so slowly over time, Pennywise was getting a lovely save from Di Gregorio. That was a good header from, I think, Di Lorenzo from the corner. Their set piece routine, their corner routine is very good, Napoli, because that could have been a goal for Di Lorenzo. And Di Gregorio gets a very good fingertip to that. That was a very good save. Very good save. It's another corner for Napoli here again. Let's see how this goes before we continue the Welcome to Derry conversation. The only reason I'm talking about this is Juventus have been very, very poor. I was not expecting that at all. They are on the counter here. Cambiaso. It's a foul. It's a foul and a free kick to Juventus. So the thing with Pennywise is, as he was in Derry, as he was in his part of the forest, he was slowly getting stronger, obviously, by feeding on the animals and feeding on, probably innocent people who didn't really know what was going on that side of the forest. So he was slowly getting stronger. But with the settlers coming in, obviously he feeds on fear. And I don't think animals can feel fear. This is my theory, by the way. I don't think animals can feel as much fear as human beings, or maybe the fear animals feel is not the same as humans. So with the settlers coming in, he was like, oh, it's a buffet out here. He kills the settlers, and get stronger to the point where one shard. So the indigenous people had one shard of his meteor basically, and they find out that the point where Pennywise has gotten to, one shard isn't enough, which is actually contradicting because in the last episode I watched, one shard was enough to stop him from eating someone. So it's like, hasn't he gotten stronger now where one shard shouldn't be enough to stop him? Anyways, so it gets to a point where they're like, okay, one shard isn't enough to stop Pennywise. We can't just be holding on to one shard. We have to either move, locations and get away from this, whatever this is, and be gone, or we look for more shards, which obviously option B is the more difficult because they have to go into Pennywise's territory to look for that shard. And everyone agrees that option 1 is the best because we can't risk our lives going to look for shards and keep staying in the area. And I mean, obviously, if you think about it, if they get more shards, Pennywise is just going to get more stronger, and eventually the shards aren't going to work on him because they've already established that, the shards, if he gets stronger, the shards and all that stuff. So they decide we're going to move. But one absolute idiot, it's always going to be one idiot. Unfortunately, it was a woman. Unfortunately, probably it could have been a guy, but unfortunately, it was a woman. And she was like, I don't hang with you guys like that. I don't like that idea. I want to still coexist with this, whatever this is. I still want us to be here. I've grown attached to this piece of land that we've settled on. I want us to be here. Everyone was like, obviously, what are you smoking? What are you doing? We can't just be here coexisting with this. So then everyone probably thinks, and she was a kid as well, David Neres on the right hand side. Every time Napoli are going to attack, I'm going to stop talking about Derry because we're here to talk about football. Di Lorenzo. Napoli still probing. Juventus have really been disappointing. I'm going to be very honest with you. I was not expecting I was not expecting talking about, welcome to Derry in a Napoli versus Juventus match. Lovely move from David Neres here. Can he find a pass? This would be a good goal. Oh, he's still on it. David Neres. Oh, if someone got on the end of that was a good move from David Neres. Consensao on the counter attack here. Can Juventus do something? Consensao, you waste the counter attack. All the Napoli players are back now. But let's see what Kenan Yildiz can do. On the left-hand side, Kenan Yildiz looks for the pass. Consensao, horrible shots. Doesn't connect well. Horrible shots from Consensao. And ironically, that's the best chance Juventus have had this game. But David Neres, this move he does against Cabal, lovely stuff. Probably could have won a penalty if he didn't stay on his feet. And I think he kind of missed hits the cross, to be honest. He hit the cross and the cross was going outside the box instead of going into the box. But it's still good. Napoli have looked the dangerous side. And as I said, I haven't watched Juventus this season enough to even predict that they can come back in this game. Napoli are the only side I have knowledge of going into this game, honestly. So I don't know what Juventus' plan is at the moment. I can't even say they're slowly going into the game. Kenan Yildiz is on the left-hand side. He is good on the ball. Ooh, closest. They are getting close. They are getting close, Juventus. If they can pick up some more steam, that was very good from Weston McKennie. Kenan Yildiz maybe should be doing better. I mean, to be honest, can I really blame Juventus? They don't look to have that attacking threat in the box due to the lack of, due to the absence of Dusan Vlahovic. They're doing the long ball tactic. Everyone's doing the long ball tactic now. Premier League is affecting teams. Everyone's doing long ball now. It's a foul for Napoli. And the Rasmus Højlund wanted it to be an advantage because Napoli were on the attack. Yeah. It was a push on David Neres. Probably should have been left. The referee probably should have let that go. Probably should have. Well, 32 minutes gone in the game. We have some more conversations to have at halftime. I don't have anything positive to say about Juventus at halftime. They've been very devoid of ideas here. Cabal loses the ball. And so did Lobotka. Gatti. Sorry, Locatelli. Consensao. Ooh, that's a foul. That's a foul. That's a yellow card. Ramani, I believe, gets the yellow card. It's Buongiorno with the yellow card. He gets that. Was that a yellow card, Taco? I don't know. It didn't. I mean, Consensao milked that. He was rolling about. Jesus. Damn, he was rolling about, Consensao. What the hell? Anyways, yellow card. First yellow of the game goes to Buongiorno of Napoli. And Juventus still not seeing anything of the old lady of Italy. Can he know this? Can he find a pass? He can. Lloyd Kelly, if you were not offside, that was a horrendous miss. And a beautiful pass from Kenan Yildiz, the closest Juventus have gotten from to get anything. He was onside. Lloyd Kelly, formerly of Bournemouth, you should be scoring that. I know you're a defender, but you should be scoring that. That was a beautiful pass from Kenan Yildiz as well. He's gonna be the shining star in this team, in this game as well. Di Lorenzo, David Neres, he is becoming a little bit complacent. David Neres, he's starting to make a little bit of mistakes in this game. And then Yildiz, he looked offside. He is offside. 34 minutes gone in the game. Yeah, so I mean, I can't really give you the whole synopsis of Welcome to Derry, but I think in terms of horror, it has that. If you've watched it, part 1 and part 2, it has that horror factor, especially in the first episode. First 10 minutes was absolutely brilliant. And it's a foul for Napoli. Referees, it's a foul for Napoli. They tried to take it quickly, but the referee, okay. What's happening here? Someone was holding someone's neck. Lloyd Kelly, oh my goodness. Hands around Rasmus Højlund's neck. Lloyd Kelly. But yeah, the whole, to answer, long story short, I think Welcome to Derry is worth the watch. Is it something I'll recommend to someone? I don't know. I think if you plan on watching it, I would say watch it, but I don't think it's something I'd say, hey, you should watch this, I don't think it's that good. Noah Lang, free kick for Napoli. Can he put a good delivery into the box? He can. It's a corner, I think. The corner, I think, for Napoli. Rasmus Højlund was it a corner? It is a corner. Lloyd Kelly gets his head on it. It's a goal kick. So it wasn't a corner. The referee didn't give a corner. That's weird. FGH with an interesting question. Do you ever feel you're living the same day on repeat? I've actually never gotten that. I think I've had this conversation with someone about deja vu. I've never gotten that feeling of I feel like I've done this before. I feel like I've been in this situation before. I have never in my life got that. And apparently it's weird. Oh, the Real Madrid match has started as well. I didn't even check that. It's past 8, 22 minutes past 8. Should be checking that. I won't be surprised if Real Madrid are losing. They're not losing. It's 0-0. What is the lineup? We can check. We can check the lineup for the Real Madrid versus Celta Vigo game. Vinicius Mbappe front two. So it's a 4-4-2. Vinicius Mbappe at the front two. Valverde, Goulet, Chouamini, Bellingham as the midfield four. Fran Garcia, Carreras, Militao, and Asensio as the back four. And obviously Thibaut Courtois at goalkeeper position. Interesting lineup. I don't know why Carreras is at center back. Again, I think I keep saying this with Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso, he needs to start picking a consistent starting 11. He needs to start picking a team where you can look at it and say, this is Madrid's best 11, and if everyone is fit, this is the team Xabi Alonso is going to pick. I still can't tell you what Alonso's best 11 is. I really can't. And it's concerning. We are in December. Oh, Napoli. Juventus have lost the ball in a not so savory position. David Neres. My mic has been off for only God knows how long now. Hopefully, it hasn't been too long. But that is the end of the first half. And my thoughts on the game. I mean, let's have a look at the stats before we get into any other conversations, because I think we have some interesting stuff to talk about. The Mo Salah situation, the situation with Manchester United and their ex-players, but I want to get into the statistics here because Juventus, I don't know what the plan of action is here with Spalletti, because I don't like what I'm seeing. I really don't. Let's get that on. Okay, so stat-wise, as I said, Napoli are going to have the chunk of the possession here, 54% to 46%, which actually is not as dominant as you would think. But as you can see, the XG, the shots, the chances created, all in Napoli's favor. And it's concerning. It is concerning because 4 shots for Napoli, 2 shots on targets, 3 big chances created, and one of them was a goal. 2 of them could have been a goal because McTominay was very close to getting a brace by now. And you look at that as compared to Juventus, an XG of 0.10, 2 shots total, 0 shots on target, 0 big chances created. No corners, nothing. Like, there's nothing positive that's going in the favor of Juventus. And you look at that and it's weird because, I mean, let's have a look at Juventus's last games. 2-1 against Cagliari. 3-2 against Bodo Glimt. I mean, a draw against Fiorentina, draw against Torino. I mean, I guess they're not scoring too many goals, but it's positive results nonetheless. It is positive results. And you look at that and to see, I don't know if pragmatic is the word to use, but I guess pragmatic is the word I'm going to use because they have been very, very conserved, very, very reserved. And the few chances that they have created that you think maybe they should be scoring, which I would say that's 1 out of 2 chances that they created. Juventus created 1 chance that I look at and say, okay, maybe Lloyd Kelly should be putting that in the back of the net. But apart from that, you should have been creating a lot more chances because I look at Napoli and there are 2 other chances that they should have put in the back of the net that they didn't. So it's a concern. It is a concern for Juventus and it's a concern for Spalletti. But I don't even think I can say Napoli have been that good. David Neres has been phenomenal, but I don't think I can look at the Napoli performance and players and say Napoli have been splendid and way above what Juventus are able to handle. I think Juventus haven't created anything at all. I really do think so. Yeah, I think so. Anyways, let us talk about the Salah and thing with Manchester United and their ex-players and current players. So, after the game, let me see if I can get that quote up. Not on screen, probably. I'll just get that on my X account and then I'll read that from me. I think Fabrizio Romano posted it. Fabrizio Romano. So, basically, Mohamed Salah comes out after the game. Okay, so I think we've got it here. So he comes out of after the game and there's a lot of conversation here. Jamie Carragher has come out to, talk about stuff. So I want to get the full quote out here so that I don't miss anything. Let me see if I can get that. Can I get a full quote here? I don't think I can. So a synopsis basically is Salah says, I don't know why this is happening to me. I don't get it. If I'm somewhere else, every club would protect the player. I don't know why I am in this situation right now. I don't think I am the problem. I have done so much for this club. Salah told Viaplay Football. Let me see if I can get more. So Salah also says, it's clear that someone wants me to get all the blame. The club promised me in the summer a lot of promise for me, and so far I am on the bench for 3 games. All I can say is keep the promises. So I don't think, I mean, that kind of reads like Salah has a problem with Arne Slot. And the question now is, what promises did the club give Salah? What promises is he saying? Because if you look at this, he says the club promised in the summer a lot of promise for me, and so far I'm on the bench for 3 games. All I can say is keep the promises. So what promises are the club keeping? Is it to sack Arne Slot? Is it to? So I'm conflicted here because, first of all, let me just give my reaction on the interview in particular. I don't think Salah should have done the interview because Salah has been atrocious this season. Regardless of what he has done for Liverpool in the past, form is form. Form is temporary and class is permanent. But at the moment, Liverpool need form more than anything. Liverpool need to get points on the board more than anything because of the number of games they've lost and the position that they found themselves in. So form is form, and Salah's form has been atrocious. Is Salah a good player? Yes. Salah is a phenomenal player. No doubt about that. Salah is a very, very good player. But at the moment, Salah is not living up to the standards that we expect Salah to live up to. And with that, I'm not against the manager benching him. I think that's what everyone was asking for Salah to get benched because he wasn't playing well. And people were like, why is Chiesa not, being given a chance in the team? And Salah is playing in the team regardless of whether he plays well or he doesn't. So everyone was expecting Salah to be dropped. And I mean, he says he's been on the bench for 3 games. Out of those 3 games, I don't think Salah would have come off the bench and done anything else. I think Leeds versus Liverpool, maybe you can make an argument to say if Salah had been brought on, maybe he gets the winning goal. But I don't think the form Salah has been on, he's going to be able to come off the bench and really do anything or make any impact. I mean, the Sunderland game, he came off the bench and was the same, it was still bad. So it's conflicting because I think a player should not be able to come out after a game and be in a position where he can say the things that Salah has said, because Salah has basically just ridiculed the club, ridiculed the manager for his decision to bench him because he's like, I am Mohamed Salah, who has done this and this and that for Liverpool. I should not be on the bench. That's what he's basically said. And now he's talking about the club keeping some promises. And my question now is, which promises did the club give to Mohamed Salah? Did they say they were going to sack the manager if he doesn't do well? Did the club say they were going to play Mohamed Salah whether he's playing well or not? And if that's the case, then I think you have to look at the club more than you have to look at Salah, because why do you promise a player something you can't really enact? And another thing is, I think this is a selfish, self-centered interview by Mohamed Salah, because, I mean, you look at everything he's saying, it's all I'm hearing is I, me, I'm not hearing anything about Liverpool. All I'm hearing is I, me, I was told this, I was promised this, I don't know why I am being dropped. He's not talking about Liverpool, and Liverpool are in an atrocious situation. They're in a horrible situation. Drawing to Leeds is not a good thing for Liverpool. So it feels like Salah is focused more about himself than he is about Liverpool. And to be honest, you think about the time he was kind of, I guess, promised a contract at Liverpool and didn't really get it. he came out with the interview and was like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on in the club with my contract. I don't know, he's being promised stuff, but nothing is being said." And again, there's nothing wrong with feeling like you're good enough not to be on the bench. I mean, that ego is what makes players like Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, and even, I mean, Mohamed Salah should be in that conversation. He's been one of the best players in the Premier League for a very long time. So I think having that ego and feeling like you're good enough to make an impact in the team, even though you've not been good enough for a very long time, is good, because it makes you, it means that you believe in your ability, which a player of his quality should be believing in his ability to make an impact, for Liverpool. So it's very weird. Who do you back in this situation? I think, as a football fan that has experienced players in a club like Real Madrid, like with Vinicius. I mean, Vinicius' reaction to what Xabi Alonso, to Xabi Alonso benching him or substituting him in the El Clasico, is kind of like what Salah has done, just that he didn't grant an interview. So with that, do I back Vinicius over Xabi Alonso? No. I'm going to back Xabi Alonso over Vinicius, because if the manager wants to, especially in a game where you're winning, and keep in mind, since Arne Slot has dropped Salah, Liverpool have gotten more positive results. I know, a draw to Leeds is not a positive result, but they've gotten more positive results since Arne Slot has dropped Salah. So with that in mind, the manager's decision has worked. He hasn't dropped Salah and Liverpool have, gone downhill. He has dropped Salah and they've got some positive results. So the manager's decision has worked. So for Salah to come out and say something like that, personally, I think it's calculated. I think over the next few weeks, heading into the AFCON, I think we're going to get a big news and a big reveal from Salah. Because I don't think, if Salah is staying at Liverpool, which, I mean, as I said, the big news is going to probably be Salah leaving Liverpool. And I think with that, I don't think Salah, knowing he's going to stay at Liverpool, says what he says. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Ronaldo thing, the Ronaldo Ten Hag thing at Manchester United a few years ago. Ronaldo, after the game where Ten Hag doesn't use him, storms off the football field and goes off to the bench, goes to the dressing room and everything, leaves early and everything. And the relationship between him and Ten Hag basically fall off a cliff. And he goes to the interview, does stuff. Obviously, his wasn't right after the game, but, he still goes, does the interview and all that stuff, and goes on to move to Saudi. And a part of me, looking at that in hindsight now, thinks that it was planned. A part of me now thinks, oh, he knew he was going to Saudi. That's why he made that interview. Like, that's why he did, what he did, because he knew he wasn't going to be a part of Manchester United's future anymore, and he had an opportunity to go somewhere else. And I think that's the same situation with Salah. And I think we're going to see Salah leave Liverpool in the January transfer window, which is going to be very weird, because if that happened, you kind of question, was that always the plan for Mohamed Salah? Did he always plan that he was going to leave in January, and now the being benched by the manager has kind of expedited that process? That's just my theory. That is just my theory, because I'm looking at it and it looks too planned. It looks too, a player of Mohamed Salah's quality doesn't do that if he wants to stay in Liverpool. That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. The players are coming in for the second half here. We didn't even get time to talk about the Manchester United situation with their ex-players. I mean, we can talk about it in the game. Hopefully, Juventus have had a kick up the ass, and are going to make some tactical switches. Is that Jonathan David? That is Jonathan David. For who though? For who, Chris Kamara? For who, Chris Kamara? Who is Jonathan David coming in for? Oh, we're about to start second half. Make sure my timer is down. Wow. Yeah, I was expecting that. He has been less than ideal for Juventus. Cabal. This is the first time I've seen him play, and it was a horrendous cameo. Very, very bad. And we're off. Second half. Can Juventus do something? They've lost the ball. Juventus. I really don't know why teams do that. The long ball, straight from kickoff. What happened to just passing the ball from the back? Because you've just given the ball straight away to Napoli, and if they score from this kickoff, this goal kick, you look like Prats. Milinkovic Savic. Can you this? So I'm thinking Cambiaso is on the left hand side now, the left wing back position. Yeah, it is. He is on the left wing back position, Cambiaso. And I see Weston McKennie. Yeah, Weston McKennie has gone to right wing back. Interesting. What's a life lesson football has taught you? Take your opportunities. Yeah. We've seen countless football players with immense talent that have been given opportunities to play for big teams and show what they can do, or basically just have an opportunity to make a name for themselves and make a good career for themselves, and they've absolutely squandered those opportunities. So yeah, if I've learned anything from football, it is that you should take your opportunities, because you never know when you never know when you're gonna miss them. Look at players like Dele Alli. Players like Jadon Sancho. Ironically, all English players, actually. I mean, a few years ago, you probably say Marcus Rashford, but I mean, he's doing well for himself at Barcelona. But you look at those players, and they've been handed so many countless. Jesse Lingard. They've been handed so many opportunities. And due to whatever reasons, they didn't take them. As compared to players like, you look at players like McTominay, Rasmus Højlund. They had an opportunity, went to Napoli, and look at them now. I mean, McTominay more than most. Napoli player of the season and Serie A player of the season. In his debut season. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So they are, good stories of that and bad stories of that. So you do have to take your opportunities in this life, because they do come at you fast. They really do. Scott McTominay loses the ball. David Neres, lovely ball to McTominay. Rasmus Højlund. He's on the right-hand side. Can he find a pass? Rasmus Højlund. That was a good chance. It was on his weak foot, though, so we will give him that. It was a good chance. Good drive from Rasmus Højlund. I like, one thing I'm starting to like with Rasmus Højlund is how he positions himself. How he drifts from center forward to left wing to right wing, and it's so fluid. Noah Lang again. Nothing really created here. I guess we can talk about the Manchester United. We can talk about the Manchester United situation with their current players and ex-players. So basically, so basically, um, oh, lovely movement here at the Elmas. This is the ball again. What is Continsal doing? What is Continsal actually doing? Gotta be real. What was Continsal? What was his plan? He was just on the floor kicking the. Come on. I'm very disappointed with Juventus because they've got quality players. They have. They've got some good quality players. And to see this performance is very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Very disappointing, I tell you. So talking of Manchester United, so the current players, I don't know if you guys have seen this. The current players were it had come out, basically a leak, that the current players at United were not the biggest fans of the criticism they were getting from ex-players, former ex-Manchester United players. They were not big fans of the criticisms that they were receiving from these former ex-players. And they were like, the ex-players are piling on pressure on them, and it's making their job difficult because already there's, having to meet the standards of United, and it's difficult, and then the ex-players add more pressure by criticizing them. And it's kind of like, y'all are shit. Excuse my French, but y'all are ass. Manchester United at the moment is ass. It's bad. Like the Manchester United of old. David Neres again, beautiful control. Can he find something here? He finds Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund, can he find Scott McTominay? That pass was there, Rasmus Højlund. The pass to Scott McTominay was there. But Rasmus Højlund doesn't utilize it, and it's a foul. It's a yellow card for Pierre Kalulu of Juventus, and it's a foul in a dangerous position. Scott McTominay could bury this. But yeah, back to Manchester United. You're 12th in the league. They haven't played their game. Oh my God, oh Lord. Probably a red card. Kalulu. Ooh, that was tough. That was a tough tackle. I mean, if VAR calls him to look at that, Kalulu might be looking at a red card. That was a heavy one. Anyways, Manchester United are bad at the moment. 12th in the league, 6 wins, 4 draws, and 4 losses. It's bad. Losing to Everton, dropping points against West Ham, and I would not be surprised if they do drop points against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Oliveira is still down. Oliveira is still down for Napoli here. That was a bad I'm not. It wouldn't be crazy to say that's a red card on Kalulu. It really would not. Because he's aggressive. Doesn't get the ball. Ooh. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because Oliveira is writhing in pain. Anyhow, so Manchester United are ass at the moment. And for the players to come out and say the criticism from the ex-players, keep in mind, who have won countless trophies and done amazing and historic stuff for Manchester United. who know how difficult it is to play for Manchester United and how to meet the standards of such a, such an establishment, are coming out and saying that these players are not up to standard of Manchester United. And I mean, you look at these Manchester United players, apart from Bruno Fernandes and maybe Matthias de Ligt, I don't think some of these players are up to Manchester United standards. Maybe Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, but apart from that as well, you look at most of these players, Diogo Dalot, Joshua Zirkzee, Lenny Yoro. Lenny Yoro is a good player, but at the moment, is he a Manchester United player? No. So with that in mind, you look at that and think, are the ex-players wrong to criticize the current Manchester United players? Scott McTominay, can you score that? Oh, close. Scott McTominay, very close. Low. Very close, Scott McTominay. Very close to making it 2-0. I feel like Napoli should get the second goal quickly because as bad as Juventus might be playing, it only takes one good chance. Oh, Rasmus Højlund. Wow. Or Lloyd Kelly. So, with Manchester United, I don't think it's crazy to say that these ex-players piling on the pressure onto these Manchester United players is valid because, I mean, you watch Manchester United players play and even the manager, it doesn't seem like there's any pressure on anyone to do anything. Everyone's just going about their day. If they lose to, Everton, it's not anything. If they win against West Ham, it's not, there's nothing really going on. There's no pressure on anyone. So I think the pressure it's valid. It's very, very valid because everyone is just going about their day, doing whatever they want to do. And for an establishment like Manchester United, the Manchester United I grew up watching in the Premier League, this is not the standard. This is definitely not the standard. So to see current players complain that ex-players are piling on pressure, ex-players of Manchester United, by the way, not ex-players of different clubs, ex-players of Manchester United, piling on the pressure on current Manchester United players because they feel like they're not meeting the standards that they should be meeting as Manchester United players. I don't think it's crazy. I really don't. And I think it's a kind of pampered, spoiled society we live in. People don't like taking criticism. Everyone just wants to be baby through everything. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, back to the Napoli-Juventus game. I have been disappointed with this. Napoli have been the only team showing any sign of, wanting to get something in this game. Juventus have just been lethargic and, with that, I do want them to get the second goal because I think if they don't, they might end up drawing this game because, as I said, it only takes one chance for Juventus to get something. Halftime at the Madrid Celta Vigo game. Milinkovic-Savic. David no line. Almost got to one-on-one. Rasmus Højlund. That's a clear tackle. Clean tackle, I mean. Cambiaso to Consensao. Weston McKennie, can he put a good cross in? Kenan Yildiz. I did say it. It only takes one good chance for Juventus to get back in this game. I did say it only takes one good chance for Juventus to get back in this game. And they're level. Napoli would feel very, 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 if I'm the Napoli manager, I would feel very, very disappointed in the fact that they could have been 3 goals up now. At least, if they conceded a goal, they would have still been 2 goals up. And Kenan Yildiz, that was a good goal. To score from that angle That was a good goal. And he's been the only bright spark in this team. He really has. Weston McKennie with the assist. He really has been the only bright spark in this team, Ken and Yildiz. And it only takes one chance. Only takes one chance. And I mean, it would only take another chance for Juventus to get the winner or to get the second goal. It took them only one good chance to put the ball in the back of the net, and it would take another good chance for them to score the second goal and put themselves in a beautiful position. I think Napoli still have what it takes to get that second goal, but they have been complacent a little bit. Corner for Napoli again. Can they score this time around? McTominay has come close twice, but nothing really dangerous enough to beat the goalkeeper. Ball comes in. Oh, Di Lorenzo with the header. Oh, no, sorry, Armani with the header. But it's wide. Juventus they haven't been at their best. But as I said, and it was a good tackle by Locatelli on Rasmus Højlund to win that ball. And Cambiaso, I think Conceição did very well to get that loose ball from Cambiaso. And Kenan Yildiz, he was at the start of the transition as well and did very well to get himself in a position to put the ball in the back of the net. David Neres on the right-hand side has also been a bright spark for Napoli. I think Juventus are starting to build up steam here. David Neres, he's not a player that wants to fight. You know, he looks very calm and doesn't really care about what's going on. Some people have said he looks very high when he's playing football, which I mean, it's a very crazy allegation to say a player looks high when he's playing football, but he just looks very, not caring about what's going on around him. Just wants to play the football. He's those type of players that just want to play football. Kenan Yildiz again on the left-hand side for Juventus. Have Turkey qualified for the World Cup? I don't think so. I think they're part of the teams that are playing qualifiers to get to the World Cup. I would like to see Turkey in the World Cup, definitely. Other Guler, Kenan Yildiz, Can Uzan, Çalhanoğlu. Definitely like to see Turkey in the World Cup, for sure. We've got some good players this season. Oh, lovely spin, Kenan Yildiz. My goodness. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see in the first half, and we didn't see that. But it's good we've seen that in the second half. Conceição linking up with McKennie. Didn't get the return pass right, McKennie. But you're building up steam, Juventus. Napoli have become... You're starting to push them back a little bit here, Juventus. They're starting to push Napoli back a little bit here, and they're starting to build up confidence. I don't know why that took me so long to say. Cambiaso loses the ball. David Neres. Still David Neres. Oh my goodness. He's balling out of his mind today, David Neres. He's balling out of his mind today, David Neres. On another day with players that are on his wavelength, I think David Neres convincingly takes man of the match. Rasmus Højlund, pass the ball, Rasmus Højlund. Oh, David Neres. I tell you what, if McTominay was onside there, that was a brilliant pass from David Neres. He's still my man of the match. Rasmus Højlund, David Neres. Ooh. Oh, it got intercepted. So that was straight for McTominay. Conceição. Lloyd Kelly. David Neres again. Oh, lovely stuff. I'm telling you what, David Neres deserves a goal in this game. He's playing out of his mind. He deserves a goal in this game. Conceição. The second half has picked up. It has definitely picked up the second half. And I like what I'm seeing. This is what I wanted to see in the first half, but we're getting in the second half here. Bad passes from Napoli. They're getting frustrated. Juventus are frustrating them. Jonathan David. Cambiaso. Kenaniotis. Cambiaso. Can you find something here? Kefren Thuram. Cambiaso. Puts a good cross in. It's a bit too much. Goes over to Milinkovic Savic. Let me see what's going on in the other games. Specifically Real Madrid. Are they back from halftime break? Or they're not? Still in halftime. Di Lorenzo. Rasmus Højlund. Can't really flick it on. The throw in for Juventus. They are starting to frustrate them. Juventus. They're starting to frustrate Napoli. Conceição. He's come alive in this second half as well, Conceição. Thuram. Yildiz. Locatelli. Passing the ball around. Juventus. They don't really need to go for it. I think, would a draw for Juventus be bad? Against league leaders, Napoli. Probably not. I don't think they would mind a draw. I don't really think so. McKennie, Yildiz, Napoli. They're still not really holding on to the ball, Napoli. They seem to get the ball and just, frustratingly lose the ball. Which is not how they, went about the first half. Domine. Neres again. I think Neres. I won't be shocked if Neres gets a goal. He's the closest player, I think. It feels like he's in the zone. Just dribbling all around. He's hardly losing the ball as well, which is very good for Napoli, especially at this moment where everyone seems to be losing the ball helter-skelter. Foot mob, Madrid, Celta Vigo, they're back from halftime. Madrid do need a win. Barcelona are relentless at the moment. Cross comes in for Neres. From Neres. Can he puts another cross in? He does, and it's a bad cross. A lovely ball on the counter, but he's not going to get there. Kenan Yildiz is quick. Is that Yildiz? Oh, Conceição. Okay. Conceição is quick. He was catching up. Cambiaso uses his body against Di Lorenzo. Lovely flick back from Gatti. They for sure turned the heat up here, Juventus, in the second half. Kalulu. Coop Mainers. It's very weird seeing Coop Mainers playing defense. He's a midfielder. When he goes forward, Kefren Thuram covers his spot. Interesting tactics. We are 7 minutes past the hour mark here. Di Gregorio kind of teasing Rasmus Højlund. Locatelli, Kefren. Hoop Mainers, Kefren. Can he find Conceição? He can. Back to Thuram. Juventus are looking dangerous here. Thuram. Jonathan David. He's got options. Jonathan David. Can he find a pass? He can. But Armani is there to defend. Lovely footwork. Kenan Yildiz. Jonathan David. Cambiaso. Maybe a penalty. Not. Kefren Thuram. It's a foul. It's a foul. Oh, VAR checking something. I think. Ooh, that was painful on Kefren Thuram. But a knee to his ass. Jesus. That is painful. That is painful. I think Real Madrid have scored. Might be wrong. It's a foul for Juventus. Kefren Turam did. It looked like a foul for Juventus. I think it's a foul for Oliveira is being taken off for Spinazzola. Spinazzola. I thought this guy retired. Spinazzola is still active. And he comes on for Oliveira for Napoli. That's a yellow card for dissent, I think. Napoli have become very frustrated. Okay, what's a foul on Kefren Turam? Napoli have definitely become very, 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 very frustrated in this game. And it's understandable because in the first half, they looked the way better team. They looked like the better team. And for them to be in a position now that they're drawing to Juventus, who haven't created as much chances, they would kind of feel very, very hard done by. Seeing as they probably could have been 3-1, 3 goals up or 2 goals up at least by now. Another sub for Juventus. I know who comes on. Kostic. Okay. Pressure being put on by Juventus on the Napoli players. Spinazzola. Don't lose the ball here. You don't want to lose the ball here. Ukemia. Spinazzola gets the ball. Ooh, he's looking rusty, Spinazzola. He is looking rusty. David Neres loses the ball for the first time in a very long time in this match. Does Messi have a Ballon d'Or chance because of the World Cup? Because now he has a major trophy for Inter Miami. This is an interesting conversation because he shouldn't. He shouldn't have a Ballon d'Or chance just because he's won a Conference League in Inter Miami and he has a chance of winning the World Cup with Argentina. But if I know the media and story narrative, David Neres. If I know the media and story narratives, like I know, they're going to find a way to put Messi, if not to win it, they're going to find a way to put Messi in the top 10 or top 5, maybe. I think so. Because him winning a major trophy for Inter Miami is big. And if he wins another World Cup, for sure, I mean, to be honest, if Messi wins another World Cup, I think for sure they're going to give him the Ballon d'Or. If Argentina wins another World Cup, and Messi obviously is going to play a big part of that, I think they're going to give Messi the Ballon d'Or. Just because, honestly, I really do think so. Napoli, it's a foul. They're starting to look frustrated, Napoli. And I think they just need to, look at that pass. That was an unnecessary pass by Noah Lang. That didn't need to happen. And you can see the frustration is starting to set in for Napoli, but they have a chance here. Spinazzola, what can he do? With about 15 minutes to go here, can Spinazzola find something? I think Juventus wouldn't mind a draw. I think Napoli would, because they probably should be winning this convincingly. And the fact that they're not winning this convincingly would be an issue for them. Bukema, they pass. It's dangerous. What that was. No Lang. He's passing the ball at the back. McTominay. David Neres again. He is the bright star in this team. At the moment, Scott McTominay. Ooh, the passes went off. And it's a foul, handball, I think. Handball against Juventus. About 15 minutes to go. Quarter of an hour. Another change for Juventus. Who is that? Moretti. Hey, Moretti. He's in our Girona. He was in our Girona career mode. He was in our Girona FC26 career mode. Let's have a look at him in person. He was very good for us in our midfield, Moretti. Had very, very good close control and technical ability in the midfield. So what I'm thinking is Moretti is coming on for Continental, I think. Or not. It's a Continental. So confused. Continental looks like the player going off, but I think they got the numbers wrong. I think it's Kenan Yildiz as well going off, which is weird. I don't think Spalletti is playing for a win here. Lois Openda is coming on. Weird substitution, this. Kenan Yildiz for Lois Openda. I don't know. That's a weird sub. Kenan Yildiz has been their best player. I don't think he should be going off. But Lois Openda can cook something, and I'm interested to see Moretti because he played last season for us in our FC26 Girona career mode. So I'm interested to see what he can do. Spinazzola, can he find a cross in? Ball goes into the box. No one is really there to head it. And Jonathan David, very aggressive interception. And Di Gregorio. Oh, whoa. Di Gregorio almost lost the ball trying to come out and claim it. Spinazzola. Politano is warming up and is an option for Napoli to bring off the bench. Scott McTominay loses the ball. Goes over to Noah Lang. Noah Lang. Over to Scott McTominay. That was a horrible cross. Don't know what that was from McTominay. He wins the ball though, and it's okay, I thought it was a foul. The referee looked like he was blowing his whistle. Spinazzola. Napoli just need to. I think Napoli just need to calm down because they've looked very frustrated ever since Juventus got that equalizer, and it's understandable because, as I said, Napoli have been the way better team. So I understand the frustration, but they do need to calm down. David Neres puts a good cross into the box, and he's there again. Rasmus Højlund with a brace, and it all comes from David Neres, my man of the match. And I think he's going to be the man of the match. He has been splendid today. I think Noah Lang gets the assist, but it all comes from David Neres being a brilliant player on that right-hand side. And Rasmus Højlund, the poacher of a striker he is, putting himself in dangerous positions, and he's got that second goal for Napoli. They deserved it. You know, they have deserved it. They have deserved to be in front against Juventus. And I think Juventus actually, I mean, props to Juventus. They did well to, I mean, look at this from David Neres. The first cross was actually very good. Oh, it wasn't Noah Lang. It was Weston McKennie. Horrible clearance from Weston McKennie. And Rasmus Højlund, to be honest, he probably should have headed that better. If that was a different goalkeeper, if that was David Raya or Gianluigi Donnarumma, he probably, keeps that out. You'd probably be looking at Di Gregorio and thinking he should be saving that. It's a good goal, but Di Gregorio probably should be saving that. And David Neres, that's going to be his night. Man of the match for me, the Brazilian. And he's getting the love from the fans. The fans do appreciate his performances today. And personally, I do appreciate his performance. He has made this match more interesting. And that's gonna be a wrap for him. And he's definitely going to be taking man of the match as Politano comes in. And it's 2-1 for Napoli. Can Juventus create that moment of magic again? With Kenan Yildiz off, I don't know. Openda is a good player, but I don't know if he's good enough to do something for Juventus. Napoli again on the attack here. Politano instantly coming onto the field and wanting his impact to be felt. Di Lorenzo, Politano. I think Italy haven't qualified for the Champions League, for the World Cup yet as well. They're also playing qualifiers, which is weird because, I mean, look at the quality of players Italy have. Bastoni, Barella, Politano, Di Lorenzo. Defensively, they've got players like Gatti. Now that now that I mentioned the players, I feel like, yeah, they've not got the quality players. Let's be real. Let's be so for real here. They've not got the quality players. You know, they've not got the quality players. Anyways, Politano, right hand side. Can they make it 3? Politano goes for the shot, but it is blocked. 10 minutes to go here. Can Juventus create that little chance that they created in the early stages of the second half to get that equalizer here? Do Juventus deserve a draw? I mean, some might say that they do deserve a draw. But me personally, I don't subscribe to that. I don't think they do deserve a draw. Jonathan David was offside. Real Madrid game. Let me give you guys some updates. Real Madrid have Real Madrid. Real Madrid, man. We're losing 1-0 against Celta Vigo. I mean, it's confusing. It really is confusing. Militao is injured. 24th minute. Militao got sent out, got taken off in his 24th minute. So Militao is injured. I mean, Sensio got taken off as well. Rudy guys on. Rodrigo again. Why? My goodness. Let me not talk about it, because why is Rodrigo still being given minutes at Real Madrid? What realistically do players like Franco Mastantuono, Gonzalo Garcia, and Endrick have to do to get on this field? Because Rodrigo, you might as well come take me at my house. I'll probably provide as much impact as Rodrigo is doing in a Real Madrid shirt. Juventus trying to create chances here. He wasn't offside. Openda. Oh, Kostic. My goodness, that was bad. Tried to put a cross into the box and missed the ball. 8 minutes to go here. Ooh. It was a good attempt to pass. Almost found Rasmus Højlund. Juventus probing here. I think Napoli are shutting up shop here. I think they're looking for that. I don't think they're looking for that goal now. Brian Zaragoza. Isn't this guy supposed to be a Bayern Munich player? They sends him out on loan again. Christ. He's a good player, Brian Zaragoza. I think so. He's the one that got the assist for Celta Vigo's goal. I really wouldn't be surprised if we lose this game against Celta Vigo, which I think if we do, losing this game against Celta Vigo should be bad. Napoli in the counter-attack here. Noah Lang to Rasmus Højlund. Back to Noah Lang. He does try to find the pass back. Maybe he should have tried to get the goal. It could have been 3. Again, with Napoli, they could be more goals up. Probably 4 goals up by now. Given the chances they've missed. There could have been more goals up by now. If Real Madrid lose this game, we're 4 points behind Barcelona, which is horrendous. Horrendous. Not Kostic. Number 11. It is Kostic. Juventus probing on the edge of the 18-yard box. Ball into the box. McTominay is there to clear. Yeah, Napoli are just shutting up shop here. Which you understand because at the moment, they don't need to get that second goal. Ooh, Jonathan David. So then it's out and it's a goal kick. 5 more minutes to go here. Real Madrid are losing to Celta Vigo. Am I surprised? Not really. Not too surprised. Kind of expecting Real Madrid to falter at this point. Here's the goal again for Rasmus Højlund. Di Gregorio, I think, should be doing better. Yeah. The fact that he had a hand to that probably should have, swatted that out. And they probably would have salvaged the draw for Juventus. Noah Lang is being taken off for Vergara. Have no idea who that is. Oh no. Fran Garcia has gotten a red card. Hey, it goes from bad to worse, isn't it? How do you get a yellow card in the 63rd minute and then get a second yellow card in the 64th minute? What sort of indiscipline is going on at Real Madrid? Honestly, can someone tell me what sort of indiscipline is going on at Real Madrid? What is this? Red card for Fran Garcia, and to be honest, I would not be shocked if we lose this game against Celta Vigo. And I think if we lose this game against Celta Vigo, do you sack Alonso? Do you really sack Alonso? Juventus don't look like they can create any chances here. With 3 minutes to go, I don't think there's going to be a lot of added time as well because there hasn't really been any time wasted for anything. Yeah, he had to clear it. Vergara. McTominay doesn't get the ball. Kostic. Oh, it's not Kostic. Who's number 11 for Juventus? At the moment, I know it's a sub. Player that got subbed on. Oh, Zagrova. Played well last season for Juventus. I haven't seen much of him this season. So yeah, at the moment, Real Madrid are losing to Celta Vigo with a red card. Typical of Real Madrid. I think it's going to be a win for Napoli. 2-1. I think it's going to be enough. I think it's going to be enough for Napoli to see it through. With 2 minutes to go, Scott McTominay Found the pass to Rasmus Højlund. That's a Politano. Di Lorenzo goes back to the defenders. Goes further back to the defenders. Zagrova, he is pressing. They want that equalizer. Juventus. They are wanting that equalizer. Headed ball down. Politano is being taken down, and it's a free kick for Juventus. Over the top for Napoli. 1 minute to go. This game is going to come to an end here. And unless Juventus are going to do something miraculous, I don't see them getting another goal. And to be honest, based on how Juventus played this game, I think they had only one goal in them. I really do think so. Are you going to watch the Madrid match? Seeing as we're losing to Celta Vigo, I don't think I'd want to watch that. Like, watching Real Madrid at the moment is not fun. There's nothing fun about watching Real Madrid at the moment. Real Madrid is because I support them. But there's really nothing fun watching Madrid at the moment. There's nothing fun about it. We're playing about lovely stuff. Politano, he doesn't get there. Does a dummy and got past a defender, but he wasn't able to get the ball in and go in. 4 minutes of added time, actually decent. Yeah, so as I was saying, with Real Madrid, I think it's not fun watching Real Madrid at the moment. It really isn't. We don't have a style of play, which is exactly the reason we went for Xabi Alonso. And the fact that we don't have a style of play and we're losing matches, dropping points, and basically handing the lead to Barcelona, who had a very shaky start to the season. It's horrendous. And I'm sure if I'm going to watch the match, I'm going to see some players playing something very stupid. The Grova puts a cross in, but it's out by Napoli players, and it's a foul for Napoli as well. Three minutes of added time to go here. Napoli have deserved this win. I think so. Napoli have done very well to earn this win. Has Real Madrid made any other subs? No other subs. No other subs. Mbappe isn't playing well per the stats. Mbappe is a 6.8 and he's still on the field. I don't know why we can't sub. And you know, this just reminds me of the Salah situation because you're kind of looking at it thinking you can't sub off these players because I mean Vinicius has already shown that if you sub him, he's going to react like a petulant child. So you can't sub off these players because you're going to get a bad reaction from them. Because if Xabi Alonso is to sub off Mbappe, he's probably going to get a bad reaction from him. So you're kind of thinking, are these managers kind of hands tied behind their back that they can't sub off these players? Because I'm a believer of if a player is not playing well, no matter how good. Oh, lovely chant for Juventus, Zagrova. Straight out of goalkeeper. Good chance for Juventus. Very good chance. A very good chance for Juventus. 72 minutes played at the Madrid Celta Vigo game. As I said, I would not be surprised if Madrid loses this game. I think if Real Madrid loses game, do you really think of changing the manager? Because the Atletico, it's so confusing. It really is. It really, really is so confusing as to how we can play so well against Athletic Bilbao and then be losing to Celta Vigo. But that is the game. And as I've said countless times in this stream, Napoli have deserved to win this. I think they could have won by more. They made things a little bit difficult for themselves in the closing stages of the game, but I think overall they have been the better side. Juventus, you look at Juventus play and it's very disappointing. The only bright star in this team was Kenan Yildiz, and the stats say the same thing. You know, the stats are, I mean, at the moment, the possession is 50-50 because Juventus had a better second half, but I don't think there was any points in the game where I looked at Juventus and say they deserve to have scored more. Whereas I look at Napoli and I think they probably should have put 4 past Juventus. You know, I look at Napoli and I think if they drew this match, they would have felt very hard done by. As for Juventus, I can't say anything like that. The goal they scored was a good goal, but it came from one good chance that I think they created in a whole game, which shouldn't be the case. You should be creating a lot more chances for a team of Juventus quality. And I think if this is how they've been playing the whole season, I mean, it's kind of disappointing. It really is. It really is kind of disappointing. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Good win for Napoli. Takes them to top of the league. And Juventus, they're still outside the top 4. And Spalletti has a lot of work cut out for him. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. The FC26 career mode. I'm going to try my best and do it on a Wednesday. Because as I said, Tuesday I will not be available to do that. So I'm going to try and do it on a Wednesday, Thursday, same time, 4 p.m. GMT. And I hope you guys are going to be available for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all the support. I'll catch you guys in the next one.